Thank you. Definitely, we are in a world that is changing, fundamentally changing. Globalization, as we've lived it the past 3 to 4 decades, is fading away. We're opening a new chapter. The new chapter is highlighted by nationalism, by borders, by protectionism, as you highlighted, tariffs, and this is not new. So we've seen this literally in the first President Trump term. We're seeing that in Europe. We're seeing that nationalist movement taking place over the past 10 years. And I think even if you look at the projections for some of the elections that will take place in major cities in Europe going forward, you can see that this trend will continue. For an economy like Egypt, in a neighborhood that is not the easiest, our focus as a government, I belong to a new government that took place July last year, is really very simple. We want to be as competitive as possible. We want to create a business environment that is conducive for the private sector to prosper, to invest. We want to boost FDI. And in doing so, we want to maximize the return on what we've invested in infrastructure over the past 10 years. So just to give you very briefly, Egypt, 10 years ago, 2014, we started a major program to stimulate the economy following two revolutions, 2011, 2013. In a big economy like Egypt, big country, a stoppage of the economy means a lot of jobs lost. So the government stepped up the program to put major infrastructure to maximize our unique location. We are centered in 3 continents, Africa, Europe, Asia. And again, we talk about location without the proper infrastructure, then you cannot maximize that return. So we've put a massive network of roads, new cities, 24 new cities, expanded our force, be it on the Mediterranean or the Red Sea, major power projects and renewable energy powers, and public transport massively. And after that, we had 2 challenges that we have to deal with as a new government. One is the role of the private sector, or the share of the private sector is less than what we anticipated. So this is one of our key targets. We want the private sector to take a leading role, going back to 75 to 80% of the investments in the economy, as well as the role of the state. So we want to maintain, contain or reduce the role of the state in the economy. And of course, the debt to GDP is something that we need to manage. Of course, COVID, the Russian war in Ukraine, added to the challenge with inflation, so the government couldn't step back in the right time, 2020, 2021. So our focus today is to make sure that we have a clear policies, be it on the monetary policy, fiscal policy, trade policy, and the role of the state, be as competitive, as I said, in most of these aspects, to attract the right FDI. Our location is unique, and we can be as competitive today to be as a hub for anyone to operate for the 3 continents. Let's first talk about India and Egypt. I think one of the 2 greatest civilizations. I come here with a great respect. I visited as a tourist several years back. I see a lot of interest from Indians to come and visit Egypt again for our great civilizations there as well. I feel at home when we come here. But again, when we talk about trade between our 2 great countries, it's tiny vis-a-vis the potential. And that's what I discussed with the Minister of Trade, my counterpart here in India, that we cannot talk about 10, 20%, we need to talk about 2, 3 times the trade. Trade and investment is the life of economies, and that's what we should strive to. But when we talk about food security and energy security, it's a major topic. And Egypt today, one of our aspirations is to be a green energy hub. And we're discussing this across all the players. And again, we need that for our own security, but also we think on the green aspect, our greatest potential is already the green. We have plenty of land, plenty of sun, very good wind as well along the Red Sea. And our aspiration, just to give you some numbers, between today and 2040, we need to add 65 gigawatts, majority of which is 85 to 90% will be green. That does not include the green hydrogen potential. The green hydrogen potential, you can add a similar number to that once we unlock the challenges of the industry because of the pricing and all of this. And this is a discussion that we are having actually with Indian players, Again, trying to have off-takers to that, but also with the European players. But you're spot on. I think we need to talk about this. Energy security and resilience of our economies is what matters going forward. What you started the first question talking about what is happening globally, what matters is that we need to build resilient economies. But we need to have agility as well. Agility does have to move because things are moving much faster than our governments, steps, especially when we talk about artificial intelligence and other aspects that are affecting every economy and every person in the world will be affected.